Welcome to the DCTV universe on the stream.tv. I'm Tatiana of the Flash podcast, and my boys are all out because of holidays or work, but I've got some other boys here who are just as good. While you're waiting to hear what we have to say about the show, make sure that you check out Lance Ospresser's Facebook groups, especially the flashbacks discussing the show. All right? First, we've got Alvin.
What's going on? This is Alvin Rueda, and this week has been redonkulous with the mid-season finale. So I can't wait to start discussing these guys. And let me introduce you to the newbie in town, our latest recruit, the one and only Jordan. Actually, it's Jordan.
Jordan Mosely, yes. It is spelled Jordan, but that's okay. Anyways, yes, I'm here talking about Legends today, and I'm very excited to get into this. I've got some very exciting things to talk about, so I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Starting off, we had the Flash mid-season finale called The Present, which was a very apt title for it.
Yeah.
And we started off the episode with Barry getting to visit Earth 3, finally. So what did you guys think about the Earth 3 visit? I really loved the sort of Batman animated series vibe, right?
Yeah. I thought definitely it was like Tim Burton-ish Batman, like Batman Returns. So back in the 90s, and even with the Trickster, it kind of reminded me of like Penguin Joker-ish. Kind of like combined together, and I thought it was awesome. But in the back of my head, Barry, do not mess this Earth up.
It was a much happier Earth with Jay as the Flash.
It was a lot more jolly. Like even the criminal, like even the Trickster was just he was so happy. And like Mark Hamill is fantastic, and I love Mark Hamill. And I was like, whenever he gets to do the Joker type of voice, I'm always just ecstatic about it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, he did an amazing job of being different enough from our Earth's Trickster that at first it's like, I knew Mark Hamill's going to be in it, but at first it didn't. It's like, who is that? It's Mark Hamill playing the Jokester.
Right.
The Jokester.
just a single detail of changing his costume around from the different kind of dimensions. I thought it just brought out a whole different world just from right there. Even though they didn't really show a lot of the different locations in the city, just looking at him, you were like, oh man, Earth 3 is so cartoony and animated.
You felt that difference in the dialogue too.
It was like the 50s.
Exactly. Yeah, and it wasn't like steampunk the way that Earth 2 was, but it was sort of just had that like really like peppy comic book animated series vibe. That was great. And I love seeing Jay as sort of like that wise old speedster just trying to get other people to fall in line. He's a really good mentor for Barry so far. I think.
It's just great seeing him in that costume again.
Yes.
Just because of the old school Flash when he used to play it. So he probably loves it. They all look like they're having a ton of fun out there. So how about, let's talk about Julian.
Yeah, a little less fun. Julian finally discovering that he is actually alchemy. And I want to point out that I was correct about this from the start. I knew that Julian would not know that he was alchemy.
Right.
Because it was foreshadowed with Magenta not knowing.
Oh, okay. Oh, right.
Frankie not knowing that she was Magenta.
Makes sense, yes.
Yeah. So, it's nice that it's finally a different play on the whole, like, the person that we liked actually turns out to be betraying us. Because he doesn't know he's doing it.
Right.
So, what did you guys think?
But I loved it because, from the start, when Julian came in the scene after Barry messed up the whole timeline, they hated each other. Well, at least he hated him. And as soon as they introduced the character, it was like, all right, it looks like there's a connection here, but you don't know to what extent. And when they finally revealed it, and the way they revealed it was so phenomenal because they took it back, like, where it derived from.
Yeah.
And it was like such a mummy feeling to me. And then out of nowhere, it's just like, all right, he did it, but he doesn't know that he's doing it, which is, they kind of turn it around and not have it like so direct.
Yeah.
I couldn't have said it better myself. You took everything I was going to say, you said it. Thank you very much. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
But yeah, it was like, first off, he had like an Indiana Jones vibe.
No.
And secondly, it was an interesting backstory.
Yeah.
Just knowing, especially how it connected to what we're about to talk about. But, like how he lost someone that he loved, and that's how Savitar gets you, right? That's like the opportunity to be able to be reunited with your loved ones, because that's sort of like the purest motivation that you can find.
Right.
For someone to turn evil, right?
Exactly. It's true.
What was I going to say about it? Oh, here's my one thing with it. I don't like this whole like, oh, I was digging in India you know, for the Hindu god of speed. So if Savitar takes off his mask or whatever, takes off his robot costume, and he's a white man inside, I'm going to be looking at you guys. Cast that right, David Rappaport. Cast that right.
Oh, David Rappaport.
But now Cisco, right? Cisco paralleled Julian in this storyline. So
Yeah.
how did you guys feel about, Jordan, how did you feel about Cisco releasing Savitar?
I thought it was a very good way, 'cause like you said, the best way to manipulate somebody is through something they love. And the way that they went about that, I thought was fantastic. And him having to face his brother and to be like, to choose between what he knows isn't real, but it could feel so real, and then have to close that box up, like that's a terrible decision you have to make. And I don't know if I'd be able to do it. You know, I think maybe I would be, but it'd be very difficult, very difficult.
Yeah.
Well, Cisco wasn't in the right mind, and while watching that whole thing, I was just like, oh, Cisco, why? and you know what? Cisco is probably my favorite character in the whole show. And not having the fun Cisco this season, it just kills me a little bit. He kind of brings back those jokes a little bit, and he brings back movie references again, but he's still not fun Cisco, you know? I want that fun Cisco back from season 1 and 2. And I was hoping after the crossover episodes, you know, he forgave Barry, and now Cisco's back. But now he's still going through all these things, opening up the box, saying it's his fault, and please, Cisco, just come back. we all forgive you. Things happen.
I think this will be the closure point for him, but I have really loved Carlos's performance throughout. He's really gotten to show new depths to Cisco.
Right.
Even as heavy as it's been, and you know, like how as depressing as it is to watch, at least I get to see how phenomenal his talent is.
Well, it looks like the comic relief switched from like Cisco to HR.
Exactly. That's why they brought in HR, so that
Exactly.
Cisco can be depressed for a little bit.
Yeah. It's like, all right, we'll change HR a little bit. So Cisco, you're depressed now.
Right.
And that's all right.
Speaking of depressing things, while Julian was speaking with Savitar's voice, he gave us the prophecy, right?
Right.
One shall betray you, one shall fall, and one shall suffer a fate worse than death. And then Barry runs into the future through the Speed Force, thanks Speed Force, and sees Iris getting murdered by Savitar. So obviously, after that, that's literally all I can think about. That's my entire hiatus right there. Yeah. But I have to say, first off, amazing job, Grant Candace, in that scene. It was like 30 seconds long, but they both did an amazing job.
Yes,
and then Grant continued to do amazing in the scene with Jay afterward. Because like first it's like he's in shock, he's in denial, but he's also like a manic hopefulness that like, okay, well I can change it now because I just saw it, I'm gonna change it. And then Jay's like, don't think about it, otherwise you're not gonna change it.
Yeah.
Haven't you ever read Oedipus? Stop.
Have you learned nothing?
Exactly.
He'll never learn his lessons. So.
No, he will too learn his lesson. It's not that depressing. Okay, so
He wants to do the right thing. It's hard to always learn your lesson when you want to do the right thing.
exactly,
Yeah.
because you're so focused on changing things or making things better that you don't notice what you're missing.
Right.
So I have lots of things to say about this prophecy, but first I want to hear y'all's thoughts.
I don't know. I mean, look, obviously the prophecy is going to lead into something big, and then everything is still deriving from that newspaper clipping of Future Flash. And especially now when they're looking at the paper and it's not written by Iris.
Yeah.
So automatically there, oh, something happened. And then he goes into the future and clueless to where he is, confused, even though he's seeing the news report and the date. But that's all right, Barry. I still forgive you on that one. You should know by now. But we'll see. I mean, it's going to be a hard obstacle to conquer, you know, as with anything else. And I'm just excited for the next season.
Yeah,
I mean, after the mid-season, next half of the season. So.
And when they talk about one will betray you, do you guys think that's Killer Frost?
Right. Okay. So I think everyone's going to be so focused on what they think the prophecy means that they're going to cause the prophecy to come true in a different way.
Bam.
So Caitlin is focused on, she thinks she's the betrayer. You know she thinks that.
Yeah.
Right.
She's going to be Killer Frost. But it's going to be someone else, I think. And remember the vibe that Cisco got of him and Caitlin fighting?
Yeah.
Which is, we haven't seen that yet. So we think, oh, Caitlin's going to become Killer Frost and be evil,
Right.
but
Right.
what if it's Cisco? Not that I think Cisco would stay evil or anything. but I
Cisco's not going to be evil.
No, he wouldn't. Like
That's my
never.
boy,
That would never
Cisco.
happen. We love Cisco.
I know
They love
Cisco, he definitely can hold a grudge. Even
Yeah.
though when he had all the information of why Barry did what he did, he still was like, no.
And we've seen Savitar manipulate him, so it could happen again. And of course, it could be Caitlin because Julian he could still be possessed by Savitar the second he gets out of the box.
Right.
And he's got to come out of the box if he's going to kill Iris, right?
Yeah.
Which he's not. Iris is not going to die, guys. But anyway.
She can't die.
She can't die. No, okay. Finally. I think the newspaper is unconnected to the prophecy. I think that Iris's name changes in the newspaper for a different reason, which we won't find out until like the end of the season.
Yeah.
Like the newspaper will never change. But at the end of the season, like she gets a job as a TV reporter instead.
Right.
Right.
And so that, because they've repeated over and over again, and it's true, like in the comics and real life, whatever, Barry can't be the Flash without Iris. So how could Barry be the Flash in that newspaper article if Iris is dead? Like 8 years after Iris dies, Barry's still the Flash? It's not true.
Didn't
Iris
get
is not
dead.
dead in that future.
So some theory. All right.
Thank
Yeah.
you. That's
Mind
my thought.
blown. All right. I see that.
But yeah, I think someone else.
But then maybe he maintains to be the Flash because something terrible happens to Iris.
So he's like trying to
So
save
yeah, he's
Iris?
like, I'm gonna be the Flash because I'm gonna freaking avenge my love.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm like, I just bought her an apartment. Like,
They do have a new apartment.
I don't
like
want to
that.
pay this note by myself.
Exactly.
I need her back.
And that's
It's like, you know what, Savitar? You're gonna pay her cut. Okay? You're gonna pay her percentage of this.
that looks like an expensive apartment too. It's either the cost of living in Central City is like really low, or he really gets paid a lot.
Well, he owns Star
Forensics
Labs.
is where it's at.
They don't, like, I don't know how Star Labs is making money, but that's how all of them are getting paid.
Well, it's a non-profit organization, right?
Apparently. Because otherwise Cisco and Caitlin should live on food stamps.
Yeah.
But moving on to happier things, we got a lot of great team-ups this episode. The Flash family is really coming together. You know, we got to see both Jay and Barry and Wally and Barry get their butts kicked together. So how did you feel about that?
That was awesome. I mean, Wally, you know, he's just like full of piss and vinegar, right? You know, young, dumb, full of cum is what they say. The dude is always just like, I'm gonna do this. He's all zeal without knowledge, right? He just wants to go after things. And it's like, you know what's gonna happen eventually. Like even in the crossover, when he like runs over there and all he does is like tap a few people over and then he gets taken down. And, you know, Wally, you know, he's gonna do what he's gonna do. He's like a teenager just trying to like make a name for himself. He doesn't have any wisdom, you know? But hopefully he'll gain some. I think he'll gain some sooner or later.
Did you enjoy seeing that?
Of course I did. You know, when Wally drives, you know, he's been driving and racing, and he's always wanted to be fast. And then back, especially seeing his little girlfriend in Earth 2, like he's like, oh my God, she's a speedster too. and
It must be amazing.
It's an amazing feeling. He wants to be fast, and now he thinks he's like the conqueror of the world, having this power. And I'm just like, hey man, settle down. You need some training. Just because you can run fast doesn't mean you have all the ability to stop powerful forces. Like, he needs to check it down, you know, a little bit. But it's cool seeing it, Kid Flash. Hopefully, he'll team up with, you know, Rory and stuff like that, and something will happen in the future for a new show. We'll never know.
I have to back on that prophecy of who will betray. What if it could be Wally? Because when someone like Wally is so bent on his power, that's somebody that can be corrupted.
I can see that.
So maybe it's Wally's
Like,
the one that's
I'm
betrays.
positive that Barry's going to tell them about the prophecy eventually because they're going to work as a team just to save Iris.
Right.
So if Wally thinks that Barry can't save Iris, he could do something to try to do it instead.
You're right.
And that could end up accidentally being the betrayal. For sure. Speaking of Wally, he finally got his Kid Flash suit.
Yeah.
For Christmas, the best Christmas gift.
That's what I want for Christmas.
Yeah.
I mean, come
It
on,
was-
give me a
and it
Kid
was-
Flash suit.
That was such a sweet and heartwarming scene, though. You know, especially after
was.
all this time of people trying to hold
Yeah.
Wally back. And thankfully, HR proved his usefulness.
Yeah.
You know, by convincing people that it's okay for Wally to be trained, because otherwise, he's gonna be looking for mentors.
Yeah, that's
elsewhere.
a very good point.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
HR does have a purpose on these episodes, which I'm loving, because for a second there I'm like, what are you doing, HR? What is your purpose on the show? What's your objective? But now that he's helping out Wally and he's kind of like the guiding light throughout the show when everyone's all depressed about things,
Right.
and HR is pretty much bringing the positivity about everything else. Especially with Wally, they would never give him that present if it wasn't for HR, first
Right.
of all.
Right.
But the way, I mean, it hit me right here when they gave him that present.
Yeah.
It brought a tear to my eye that oh my God, he's now part of the team, and
Yeah.
he's Kid Flash.
Like HR is known as like the wacky one, but he gives like little hidden tidbits of wisdom.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know that you're like, oh, actually that was kind of wise what he just said. Oh,
He's
wow.
the hype man.
Yeah.
And the sort of like pseudo-philosopher, if you will.
Right on.
Shayla Lopez and Avery Jackson, both, two people in the chat, have said that they think Joe is going to be the one that dies at the end of the season. That would be super depressing. Not as depressing as Iris dying, but like the second most depressing thing. But I guess it would follow like one of Barry's parents dies every season. He
Yeah.
doesn't have any parents left after
terrible.
that. And also, it would only happen if JLM has nothing better, or has better things to do, because they wouldn't let Josiel Martin go, I think.
No, I
He
don't
got to
think
be
so
like,
either.
bye guys, I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know, so it could be.
Well, let's not hope.
No,
No.
I don't hope it's. I don't want it to be Joe.
I appreciate it.
Not at
Let's
all.
not have it. Yeah, let's just pretend that no one's gonna die, and
right.
it's just bad guys that are gonna die. And it'll be
Julian
a
dies at
happy,
the end of the
perfect world.
season.
Yeah.
Bye, Julian.
Yeah. See you later, Julian.
He's about to date Caitlin, so that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then Andrew wanted to know who we think is gonna fall. And do you guys even think that fall means die? Because they said fall. He didn't say die.
Yeah.
And then he said fate worse than
fall.
death.
I mean,
Maybe someone literally trips.
What do
Right.
they exactly mean about that? Like, I mean, who's gonna fall? Are they like gonna fall into a different kind of personality? Are they gonna die right off the bat and get stabbed?
Fall from grace.
Fall
Fall into the
fall.
Speed Force.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think fall into
Right.
an evil.
Like, if you wanted to, Caitlin could fit all three. Like, Caitlin could betray the team by becoming Killer Frost, fall from grace by becoming Killer Frost, and suffer a fate worse than death because the worst thing in her mind is betraying the team by becoming Killer Frost. Done.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows? But
Final point before we sail off into the sunset of Arrow. Episode 10 is called Borrowing Problems from the Future. And you got to see a sneak peek of it, which I took a really horrible screenshot of.
I liked it.
Very nice.
I thought it was awesome.
Like, it's like someone recorded it, and then I took a screenshot of their screenshot. Like, okay. But I did watch it on the app, and you guys should watch it too. But the scene is when Barry is really, really mad at Wally for saving the day by putting the guy who's on trial when Iris dies in jail. So Barry presumably was trying to let that guy go free, or like do something different, so that somehow Iris would not die now. And everyone is wondering why Barry is being such a butt. So what do you guys think that Barry is? How quickly do you think he'll confess? That's my question.
How quickly
Will he confess to them that that's what's going on? Because they're going to wonder why he's acting this way.
I know he's pretty honest, but he holds information back for like the good of the team, right? So I don't know. I think it might be pretty quick, because when he's confronted, he does come up and tell the truth. I think so. It might be once he's confronted with it, I think he'll come out with it.
Well, with Barry, sometimes he's like way too impulsive, and he just does things without asking advice or anything like that. And that's how Flashpoint happened.
Right.
You know, he lets his emotion gets to him, and I think that's what's going to happen here too. He can never, you know, everyone has flaws, and this speedster in particular has a big flaw with his emotions.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's what's going to happen in the next episodes. So we'll see.
We'll see how it unfolds. But yeah, before we head over to Arrow and see some really cool fan art from you guys, I want to give a shout out to our friends at Arrowverse.tv. It's a website, Arrowverse.tv, and you can look up all the latest updates on Arrow, The Flash, Supergirl, and Legends. And you can leave comments. There's also a discussion forum there. So check it out. But first, check out fan art.
Welcome back. Now let's talk about Arrow and the DC universe. But before we talk about that, please join us in our conversations with our Facebook partners and their groups, where you can send in your memes, discuss about episodes, theories, etc. It's really awesome to talk about, so check it out. You won't regret it. because it's amazeballs. It really is amazeballs. Like,
I love that word, by the way.
yeah, it's a great word. And it's true because sometimes when I'm just out there, I want to talk about it with someone, and these guys will talk about it with you like that.
And your real life friends just look at you like you're crazy.
Yeah, and they're just as passionate as we are, which is amazing. You should definitely check out these other Facebook groups. So now, let's talk about Arrow. Let's address the elephant in the room. Let's do it. And
The traitor in the room?
the traitor! Oh my God, Artemis! You're a sweet girl. You are, but there's something wrong with you.
Right,
There really
I was
is.
sad about that.
Why are you teaming up with Prometheus? What do you guys think?
I mean, it's because like she blames Oliver for the death of her parents, right?
Yeah.
So I understand, but at the same time, I'm like, why would Prometheus be a better option? Like, I don't feel like that's been developed enough for me to believe that she would go to him.
Right.
Like, I feel like you could go to someone else. I don't know, the police. Put Oliver in jail for murder.
Yeah. Now, Jordan, do you think she's like, her mind got tricked? Is it really her? You know how like in these shows, there's always one way or another, we gave you a roofie or something, and now you're tricked.
I think it's similar to what's going on in Flash or in any situation where like they always prey on that person's love for somebody.
Right.
So she had a love for, who was it that died?
Her parents.
Her parents.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course. She had love for her parents. She had love for her parents, and now it's like, hey, you know what? We can kill the person that killed your parents. So, of course, because it's all based off of love and feeling vengeful for the people that you lost. I mean, that's what I think is what's happening. It's very easy to manipulate someone that way.
But the way Evelyn is just still manipulating the team, you know, he's still kind of with them, and you know, obviously the audience knows that she's full out traitor. But like you see
When she
in her
gave him those
head,
presents.
Yeah, like the manipulation, I can't stand it.
That hurt. That hurt me.
She bought those at the dollar store. I've seen those there.
Yeah.
I guess, do you guys think that she does have like love in her heart for them though? Like, will she go back?
I think deep down inside she does, but right now she seems pretty evil, and
She's angry.
Angry. And Evelyn, you are the reason. You are the reason I am single right now.
Whoa!
Well, hot damn.
How'd that happen?
No trust. That's why. Can't trust her.
You can't trust women? Is that what you're saying?
No, just her because I like her. But
Oh, I
now
see.
can't
I see.
trust her.
You would have dated her, but
would've
since
dated
she
her.
betrayed you.
But moving on to the next topic of Arrow.
Yeah.
Justin Claiborne.
Yeah, which reminds me that Andrew just said in the chat that Justin Claiborne was mentioned as a name on the list in the very first episode of Arrow.
He was on the list, and now Oliver's past is haunting him once again. And those flashbacks from season 1, you know, like it was awesome because it's going back. It's getting back to that tone where it all started from, where it all originated. And now that you have those flashbacks, and that's the whole reasoning why Prometheus is going after Ollie. Now, what do you guys think? What do you guys think of like how he's trying to mimic what Ollie did in the past?
I love it because I think that there's something so compelling about a hero creating their own villains.
Right.
And the way that they're doing it here is by showing, like, we know how he did it because we saw it in season 1.
Right.
So unlike Flash, where it's like in the future you create this villain, but we haven't seen that yet, this is like right now we feel the effects because right now we can remember what he did.
I think he wanted to put him into the same familiar situation he was in, but have the outcome be completely different.
Right.
Like before, you killed my father, but this time you're going to die, or you're not going to die, but you're
not gonna die.
You're going to want to die after he kills what? This, I don't know if you can talk about it. Is it Billy? He kills Billy.
Yeah. Speaking of Billy,
That's the next point.
I know. I was like,
Oh my
I
God.
don't want to get step on your toes.
the epic death of Detective Billy Malone, and when I say epic, it really is epic. It's not an understatement, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And the way that just happened, and everything that goes on around it. I mean, what do you think with Felicity and Oliver? What do you think about this, Tatiana?
Oh my God. Okay, first off, poor Billy. Like, he didn't get to do much, but he seemed like a nice boy.
Yeah.
So I'm really
He was a
sad.
nice guy.
I'm really sad that he was like, I'm gonna protect Felicity. And he just walked right into his death.
Yeah.
I mean, Felicity was all like, you can't do this. I'm like, yes, he can. This is his job. He's legitimately a cop. He's not a vigilante. So you can't tell him not to do it. I mean, he suffered, you know,
Right.
the
He
consequences.
died because
some
of
the
it, but at
consequences
least he
of
was
it.
doing his job.
Exactly. He went out nobly.
And she did warn him. She did warn him. And she, in fact, said, Prometheus is a cop killer. Don't go there.
Right.
Just stay here with me. For me. And then she acted all sweet, like,
But
and
then
that wasn't enough.
Right.
If he just sits there and goes, okay, you're right, he's a cop killer. I don't want to go out there. Then what kind of cop is he?
Yeah, exactly. You
yeah.
had
He's
to-
a
he had
punk
to do
cop
it.
just sitting there. I'm sitting on my nice couch, my nice little pillars in my big apartment.
Right.
I'm gonna just chill here and not get killed.
They want to know in chat if you guys think Prometheus really is the son of Justin Claiborne, or is that too easy? Do you think there's more to the story?
I think it's way too easy. There's a couple of theories involved right now, at least theories in my head.
Okay.
So
The people in my head are
Yeah.
saying.
the people, the voices in my head are saying this. Well, basically, it is a little too easy and a little too direct. Could it be a son? Could it be a daughter? Could it be the reporter that Ollie just slept with?
Like, you think the reporter is Prometheus?
Hey, look.
Dang.
Hey, look. Seeing that vodka, you know, they had that tight shot of,
Yeah, I know.
that
Why did
vodka
they do
bottle,
that?
and they served it right to Ollie. What's the purpose of that?
Okay.
I thought that was kind of interesting too. Like, why? They
Yeah.
show that shot.
And it kind of reminds me of The Dark Knight, you know?
To the mayor.
Talia al Ghul, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. I mean,
the
I definitely
commissioner.
think the reporter is working against him.
I
and we're
do
going to find
too.
that out too. Maybe
Yeah.
she's working with Prometheus. But, like, what's up with all the women working with Prometheus? God.
or you never know what happens. Or maybe Billy Malone is not dead, and that's him. That could be it
I mean,
too.
because we did see, wasn't he, like, fake dead? Like, we saw.
Yeah,
he already thought he was dead.
He thought he was dead, but it wasn't him though.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he was going through what he went through
Right.
on season 1.
So it's like a double, it could be like a double
Yeah.
fake out.
Exactly. So you never know. It could be anything. But one thing for sure, I don't think it's Laurel Lance who is back.
I know. It was like a little sneak peek in the crossovers last week. Like, oh wait, no, she is back.
Yeah. So Laurel is back, and
Oh, thank God.
is she evil? Is she good? Is she from Earth 2? Who knows? I don't know.
She better not be evil.
What do you, I mean, what's your take on this, Jordan?
I think that she could very well be evil. I mean, look, her sister Sarah Lance. They both have this edge to this kind of like dark edge about them, and maybe her dying and then all of a sudden coming back, you definitely just put her all the way over, and now she's there to deceive Oliver. Who knows?
Right? And Ollie, I mean,
Yes.
I just called you Ollie.
I'm Ollie. Oh, that's an insult.
Tatiana. so Tatiana, the way when Ollie first saw Laurel, and he wasn't like happy, he was a little bit in shock.
Yeah.
But
I
the
think
way
it's-
she turned around, what do you think? What do you think the whole demeanor and the whole vibe of everything?
I mean, I think it was really like he still sort of has his mind in the dream world of the last week, the crossover. So it's like he says in the promo scene, which you can find on the CW TV app, that she was there like a gift.
Yeah.
Which is the same thing that he said about the dream itself, that it was a gift.
Right.
So he's probably seeing it like, first off, he doesn't believe it, so of course he's in shock. But then once he has time to adjust to the thought, it's like, here's my chance to right my previous wrongs. Like, he gave Laurel that apology in his dream that he never got to give her in life. So now it's like, now he can make things right. Maybe not like for them to be together, but for him to treat her
Right.
the way that she deserves.
So what version of Laurel do you guys think it is? Like,
Jordan, what do you think?
Is it the original Laurel? Is it from Earth 2?
I think maybe it's not from Earth 2, but I mean, I don't think it's the original Laurel that we knew before. I think there's going to be a change. You don't just like die and then come back and be the exact same.
And plus the Lazarus pit is totally gone.
Well, that's what I think. I think maybe Flashpoint fixed the Lazarus pit, and then someone secretly resurrected Laurel.
Barry.
You know what? Thank you,
Barry.
Barry. Thank
I like
you.
Barry, though. Barry's-
Thank you, Barry.
Barry's my homie.
I love
He's a
Laurel.
good
I want her
guy.
back. I want her back. So I'm excited.
It's awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of emotions going on around in Arrow. Ollie's all over the place. There's a lot going on. But now, on top of all these things happening, Diggle, my man Diggs, got set up.
That was so hateful.
Yeah. So what does this mean now for the team? And how are they going to get him out this time
No,
around?
that's it.
So what do you guys think about that?
Do you think something?
I think no things.
you said-
No.
Give me your theory now.
I'm sorry. I was actually still thinking about Andrew, who like just needs to come on here and talk to me. Said that there's a reason Talia al Ghul's in the mid-season premiere, and I'm like, Talia al Ghul could have been the one who resurrected Laurel from the Lazarus pits.
Yeah.
Okay, moving forward. Diggle. they can't break him out again the same way because that would just be anticlimactic.
Yeah.
So they have to find a way to get him out legally, I think. I think they're gonna...
It's either they gotta find out how to get him out legally, or they need superpowers to get him out again. Maybe
They need the Flash. They need the Flash to come in and just swoop him out real quick.
Right?
Or
Flash can solve all the problems.
or someone who could do teleportation, whatever. Like, you know, they need. He just needs to be out. He doesn't belong there.
Well, if they need a legal counsel, I mean, Laurel is back to give it. So
She is back, but we don't know what version
Right.
of Laurel she
Right.
is. She, who knows? She could be a nurse. She could be a garbage lady. She
but
could
whoever
be a
she
teacher. I don't
is,
know.
she could fake being Laurel Lance.
Right.
And then get him out.
Because you know when HR has the little face changer?
Yeah.
Maybe something like that.
Oh, that's why are you so? Why are
so
you trying to
maybe
take
she-
Laurel from me?
No,
Why are you
Maybe
like
she
this?
is from Earth 2, because that's where... Which
Yeah, that's no Earth
Yeah,
19.
Earth
Earth 19 is the face
There's
changer.
Earth 19. Is that possible?
Imagine it was HR and it was like, April Fool's, Ollie. April Fool's. Boop.
Yeah,
I'm not
that would be
really
cold,
Laurel.
wouldn't it?
That would be awful.
And he has a coffee cup in his hand at the same time.
Yeah, right. That's awesome. And yeah. I
Oh my
mean,
God! Let's not forget to talk about Curtis, though. Just saying, heartbreak.
Yeah.
Oh,
Heartbreak
yeah.
for Curtis. I can't believe that we got to see Paul again just so that he could leave Curtis. It's just cruel.
Well, poor Curtis. Well, Mr. Terrific, you know, he found out that, you know, he's a hero. Well, he had to tell him because, you know, cat's out of the bag.
Right, yeah.
So
What are you
like,
gonna do?
you got to explain yourself. You want to keep your marriage or you want to keep your superhero job. That you can only pick one. So he picks. What would you pick? Like.
I mean, I would have to say my marriage.
Right,
I'm not
right.
married.
I picked my hubby. He's not even that good at being Mr. Terrific. I'm sorry, I love you, Curtis, but I love your marriage more.
It seemed like the whole the underlying message in the episode. There two guys say it. Billy and Mr. Terrific say, "I gotta be who I'm supposed to be, or I'm supposed to be my own man." But both of them, man, like Billy, he died. That was what he's supposed to be, I guess. And then Mr. Terrific, I mean, we'll see what happens with him.
I mean, Curtis gets his ass handed to him, and then gets cut off from his marriage.
Yeah.
Poor guy. Like.
He held his own though.
But my question to you guys is, who had it worse in this episode of Arrow?
Oh, Reverse Unicorn said that Steven announced Laurel is not from Flashpoint or other Earths. It's the same Laurel.
Oh.
Okay, sorry. So
Okay.
say that again.
Oh,
Thank you.
wow.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Reverse Unicorn.
I was saying, who do you guys think had the worst in this episode of Arrow? Because everyone went through a lot. You know,
worse.
between Felicity, Ollie, Curtis.
Felicity worse than Curtis, because Curtis made his own choices.
Yeah.
And also, no one died for him.
Right.
So, I would say it's between Oliver and Felicity, right? Like, oh no, Diggle. You know what? Diggle didn't do anything to anyone.
Yeah.
And he's back in jail.
I mean, I would say Felicity just because she lost her
Yeah.
dude. She lost her love.
Yeah.
Kind of her love.
And Oliver
I feel
made his
like
own
she
choice
wasn't in
too,
love
right?
with
He didn't have to try to kill Prometheus.
Right.
So,
I don't think Oliver got it that bad. I mean, my man got some booty.
True. It's not a bad day.
It's not a terrible. I mean, it is, but it's not the worst. I mean,
Right.
look at Felicity. Like, your fiance just killed your
it's
current
just her boyfriend. She
Your
had
ex-fiance
All right.
killed your boyfriend.
It's okay. She hadn't said she loved him yet, so they were still in the ooh, change it to like phase.
That's
Right, yeah. Right.
No, but I really did feel bad for her. And how are they gonna do they come back from that? Unless it turns out that he really is Prometheus. I don't know how you can come back from that.
Yeah.
You know?
What, Felicity and Oliver?
Yeah, Felicity and Oliver. Like, that's messed up.
It's pretty much kind of the same thing like Oliver. I'm sorry to revert back to the Flash again, but it's like this the juxtaposition. Okay, you have Oliver and Felicity, him killing her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And then you have Flash killing Cisco's brother.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
indirectly,
but
not
that's
trying to.
Yeah, but that's totally his brother just happens to be dead. You know, it wasn't literally the
But
arrows
it wouldn't
that
have happened unless
Oliver-
if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They were trying to go after their justice.
Yeah.
And inadvertently
look,
kill other people.
Even Ollie said it was on him, right? And he was ready to give up his boots.
Yeah.
But the gang decided, hey, we're with you all the way.
The group hug.
The group hug.
We're right here with you, man.
Another holiday moment brings a tear to my eye.
And I thought it was a good Christmas episode. I like Christmas, so I was happy that it was like a nice Christmassy episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely for sure.
Just that before we move on to Legends, we have a little shout out to give to Arrowverse.tv. So Once again, make sure to check that out. In between discussing Arrow with us, you can discuss it with them.
Yeah, definitely check out Arrowverse.tv because there's a lot of awesome things you can discuss with them. Like I said, theories are all over the place. Make some wagers. Let's have some Las Vegas odds on the theories. Let's
There
start
you
that
go.
off.
And in the meantime, memes.
Memes. Welcome back. Did you guys enjoy that meme music? I totally enjoyed that meme music. Felt like I was in an elevator.
Yeah.
Anyways, last but not least, let's talk about Legends here on the DC Universe at the Stream TV. If you please, we'd like to go to our Facebook pages with our partners, Lance Ostfresser. He sets up these pages and they're fantastic. So go on there, get in some conversations, post some memes, ask questions, whatever. We will be on there as well, answering questions, saying what we think about things and whatnot. So anyways, did you guys enjoy Legends this week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty weird. Like there was a lot going on.
It was it was very interesting.
There's a lot going on, including my favorite, the bromance. So
Yeah, definitely the bromance. We'll talk about that. So now they're here in 1927 in Chicago.
The Roaring 20s.
The Roaring 20s, and they get to meet Mr. Al Capone, right? And the guy who played Al Capone did a pretty good job. He was cool.
agreed.
Gotta give him a shout
But
out.
we're introduced to the Legion of Doom.
Yeah.
So you can't exactly call it the Legion of Doom yet, because they're not all there, right? Some of them, are missing, as in like Snart is not there, right? So I can't really call it the Legion of Doom yet, although they look pretty intimidating and somewhat.
Yeah.
And they're though to make their whole little case against with their deal with Al Capone. But they kind of seem more like the Three Stooges. Because
Which one's Curly?
which one's Curly? Oh, definitely Dark. Dark is
Curly.
So Reverse Flash seems like the only one who has like the real intelligence, and the rest of them just go like, oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, right. Malcolm is like the most like that.
Yeah, totally.
Malcolm's like,
Malcolm
"What's
is
going on?"
straight up. And Malcolm, played by John Barrowman.
I think it's Barrowman, but
Anyways, when I first saw him coming, and I wasn't thinking, where did I see this guy before? Because I saw him on Arrow. I was thinking, where have I seen this guy before? Because he's actually in The Producers. Anybody watch the movie Producers? Mel Brooks?
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I love that movie. It's a fantastic movie with Matthew Broderick and Nathan Lane. It's bomb. Anyways, he's a lead tenor in the whole production for Springtime for Hitler in Germany. It's freaking fantastic. Anyways, I was like, it's that guy. And the way he comes into the show just last night, he was like, and he had the same kind of look in his eye.
he looked like he was about to break out into song.
Yeah.
Okay, you saying
What do you guys
that
think about him
doesn't-
coming in?
You saying that doesn't make me hate him as much, but I did have a little something to say about
Please.
Merlin coming back. Merlin is like that turd that won't go away
Right.
when you flush it. It's like- I'm sorry to disgust you a little bit,
no.
but
I'm disgusted. Why didn't you approach me with that?
Right? Sexism. No, I love John Barrowman, but I hate Malcolm Merlin.
that little pest, get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
No, he's doing a great job
Yeah,
of
he's
me
amazing.
hating him, but he's still in that same kind of level. Are we gonna hate him? Is he like all-out bad guy, or is he gonna switch sides again? What are you doing, Merlin? What are you even doing here?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to know how they all came together, right?
Yeah.
I want to know when Captain Cold is actually gonna.
Right. I was so expecting
I
to
know.
be for real this time, and it wasn't.
They snuck it. That was sneaky.
But yeah, they really had that planned out. Like they had like double crosses.
Right.
Yeah.
They had just like lots of fake outs, and I felt like I didn't know what they were gonna do from one moment to the next.
I didn't
So,
either.
Yeah.
It was definitely a very keep on your toes episode. So then you have Malcolm Merlin. Now, after they go through and capture Sarah Lance and Professor Stein,
Yep.
and now Malcolm is trying to tempt her with, give me back that amulet. Give me that, not give me back, but give me that amulet. and you and me, we can change things, get things back together. Preying on her what? Her love for everybody, her for the people that she's
this
lost.
theme throughout the three
you know
shows.
What? But she was solid.
Yeah.
She's had to face this like many, many times.
Yeah.
I guess, I was surprised at first that she was so against it, but you're right.
Yeah.
She has really gone through this. She's gone through the ringer with this.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I'm proud. And the quote that she said, well, I don't want to say it wrong.
Okay.
It said, I'll take a nightmare. Oh, I'll take a nightmare that's real over a dream that's a lie.
Yes.
And I thought, boom. And you thought, all right, Sarah, good job. What do you guys think about her? Like,
so I loved her stand on her own. You know, that she'd already accepted. She's like, I can't bring Laurel back. I can't do anything. Like, I have to protect history. But when she went against, like, you know, when she was talking to Stein and she was like, oh, she's an aberration. Like, you're being selfish by not changing the timeline back or whatever just because you love her. I was like, okay, but it's not just him that loves her. Like, that woman, you know, his daughter, has affected multiple lives right now. This is reality now. Like, it's not a dream. It is reality now. So like, in fact, it's only a dream for Stein because he didn't experience it. But that would suggest that everyone else in the world is dreaming, you know?
Yeah.
And that's like an egocentric view, I think.
now he has all these, memories, and to him now these memories are real.
Right.
Like he's experienced these, like they have like senses about them, and it's like I'm a father, and to know that I've had all these memories of my daughter, and then to someone say, oh, that's not real.
Right.
It's been taken away from you. I'd be like,
Yeah. And also, who's to say what the original timeline is? Like, everything's an aberration.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely.
Like, if the Reverse Flash hadn't gone back and killed Barry's mom, everything would be super different on all these shows.
On all the shows.
So,
You're right.
I mean, look, there's no normalcy anymore, especially with time changes. But the way Sarah was just like, she thought about it for a minute, but then she knows this is her destiny.
Right.
And she's loving it. She's just loving it. This is her job, and she loves the group. And now, even with that, she's playing like big sister of the group, you know?
Totally. She's doing a good job.
So
then, one of my favorite parts of the show, I call Mick makes his mark. Okay? Because my main man Mick, the dude comes in, everybody thought, oh, he's just a knuckle and thick-headed, like, dunce cap wearing dude. But you know what? He thinks a way that none of you guys think.
Yep.
You guys are all scouts, right? All Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. But he's like, no, you want to catch it? You want to catch an enemy? You want to catch a villain? You got to think like one.
Yep.
Oh, perhaps, I am a villain. So let me just tell you how this works. He takes charge.
Yeah.
And I think that's the whole reason Mick got recruited in the first place. Just his mentality on the world. It can't be like we got to do things the right way all the time. You got to think outside the box too.
Right, exactly.
And with Mick, that's the kind of guy he is. But aside from that, a little bit disappointed that Captain Cold was in his mind, and he actually wasn't there.
Yeah.
So I was hoping he was there. I hope it changes later on, but you know.
He's got to join the Legion of Doom.
He's got to join it.
Yeah, he's got to join the Legion of Doom. And I was like, I was kind of disappointed that it was just this hallucination. It's like personifying his inner conflict with being a bad guy and being a good guy. Right. But I thought, even when Snark was in there, Snark was such a hater. He was just like, they call him his hater hallucination, or maybe like Casper Cold, the not unsoul-friendly ghost. Because the dude is just like, you don't want to do this. Why you want to do that? He's just mad. If you ask me, Casper, his imaginary Casper, Captain Cold, is just mad. He's just mad because when he did something right, he died. He didn't get to go on and fight another day or steal another day, whatever they do. And plus, on top of that, when a man takes charge, right? Women love it when men take charge. So what happened? Amaya was like, hey, what's up, Mr. Mick?
I'm so, like, when they first hinted at it, the first time they interacted, I was like, no, let Amaya be single. None of these men are good enough for her. And now I'm like, nope, I'm ready. I'm ready. She kissed him on the cheek. She winked at him. She hugged him, and he was like, what's happening?
So I think I'm excited for Mick. I hope Mick.
You hope Mick gets down.
I hope Mick gets down. I mean, according to her superpowers, you know, she may be an animal in the sack. So who knows?
Right. No, and I love that she can like tame animals, which he is.
He is an animal.
So she can be a little bit of a dominatrix in this situation.
Oh wow, we're getting into some serious
I'm sorry.
shit right now.
I just wanted to put that out there. But
Mick Maya, can we make that a thing?
Right. Yeah. Or Heat Vixen. I don't know. What's a good ship name for them? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, Mick Vixen. Let that stuff trend. I don't know.
They were alive, and so is
Rip Hunter. Now, where is Rip?
He's a freaking director from the 60s.
What's that about? Why is he in 1967? He's directing. And what's funny about Rick, no matter where he is, he seems to always have a leadership role.
Yeah.
Like he's a born leader, but he's still, for some reason, unhappy with the way his crew operates. No matter where he is, he's just like, you did this wrong and you did this wrong. Just yelling at people all the time, frustrated Rip. All the time. So what is he directing in the first place? It looks like he was directing his own story or his own future.
Yeah. He's not good at hiding out. He's not on the down low right now. He's like, listen, guys, let's talk about Rip Hunter.
Yeah.
I mean, look, he was directing Bootleg Legends. That's pretty much what
it was.
It was the Bootleg Legends, and especially with like that bootleg Adam. And,
Oh, yeah.
right? I mean, it was awesome. The costume department did a great job on that. And what is his role now? He looks really frustrated.
Yeah.
I mean, he's back directing.
Maybe
well,
he's trying to send a message to the Legends with this
Through
film
film.
that he's making, so they need to get it right so that the Legends can see it.
She's good. I like her a
I
lot.
basically wrote this show, guys. It's
She
She
fine.
might as well.
you mean kind of like a time capsule
Yeah.
and putting like a film in the time capsule? and
Exactly.
here you go.
Yeah.
Here you go, Legends.
I think
This is
something
what's
like
going
that.
to happen.
That's why it was like, it has to be right. I didn't fall over that trash can. I fell over this one. Makes sense. Makes sense.
I just thought of that now. Anyway.
She's good.
That's a good thought, but that's definitely one of the shock moments in this
Yes.
episode
Yeah. Most definitely.
is having him back, and
I'm excited. I like Rip.
I like Rip. I mean, who brought the team together?
Yeah.
Rip. Who's
Right.
responsible for everyone?
Rip.
So
I
it's all
love
about.
I thought we had another one coming. Okay.
I know. I was gonna do a third one, but I was gonna be like Rip.
I love seeing Sarah step up, and I hope that she gets to remain the de facto leader because she's a better leader than Rip. But I do want Rip back. So I'm ready for the rescue Rip campaign.
Well, I love me some Sarah, so
Yeah.
if I was in Legends, I would vote for her to be the leader of Legends.
I would too.
I would even vote for her to be the leader of the free world. So.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow, that's
Yes,
impressive.
Sarah.
But yeah,
Alright.
we had other cool moments going on.
Yeah, so then other cool moments were the battle on the Wave Rider. Like, let me give a shout out to Dean Cho. He was the stunt coordinator, and fantastic. I think it's Cho. I think I'm saying that right. But he was fantastic, and coordinating all of those fights was fantastic. I said fantastic like 6 times just now.
Because
So,
it is fantastic.
yeah. What did you guys feel about that?
I loved seeing all the different bits. Like, first off, seeing Sarah get to battle first Damien Dark and then Malcolm. You
Yeah.
know, like she's battling like both of her demons, right?
Right. Yeah.
I loved that. And then Nate and Ray, you know, finally like they got over their sibling rivalry.
Yeah.
And became like the real bromance in order to
Yeah.
fight off those
Yeah.
mobsters, I guess,
Right,
right? Like
right.
I don't hear them gangsters, whatever you want to call them.
I like it's like
Yeah.
Sarah Lance comes in as like a mom. She's like, hey, you guys stop playing around.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, boo, 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 boo. And then later on, Mick comes in like a father. It's like, hey, you guys are supposed to be partners. Watch each other back.
I loved that.
So they got like a daddy and a mom, right?
Yeah, and it was a
Shit.
really nice minor through line that paid off in this very episode.
And
Yeah.
not only that, with Ray portraying the untouchable himself,
Yeah.
Elliot Ness, like
Yes.
this guy is unconscious, and someone needs to play Elliot Ness to
Nick.
put
Nick.
to put Al Capone in jail for the
Yeah.
tax evasions.
Oh yeah.
So that was awesome. I felt like that they just pulled it off just right, and then all of a sudden, all their Roaring Twenties accents start coming in.
Right.
So, like, which is awesome because the man who plays Damien Dark, playing the 20s, he was in the show last year called Public Morals, and now he gets to be that mobster again.
Nice.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Very cool.
So,
That is very cool.
You know, again with the 20s, the music that they had in this episode was fantastic. And the music was done by Blake Neely. I think I'm saying that right. And the music was fantastic. It captured the whole essence of the 20s, and it was beautiful with the clarinets and the saxophones. It was fantastic. But then at the end of the episode, the Legion of Doom, or the Three Stooges, whatever you want to call them, they're talking about finding the Spear of Destiny. Now, what is the Spear of Destiny?
Yeah, we actually had a really helpful person in the Facebook group that I was telling you about.
pray tell.
Yeah, point out, Rich Seville right there, point out the Spear of Destiny. You can find it, the wiki pages. First off, it's a real thing, it's a myth in real life, but also in the DC world. It's the spear that pierced Jesus' side, as Damien Dark told us, but it also can affect the course of reality and is why the Nazis were able to keep metahumans away from World War II. Like, that's why it took so long to win World War II. in the DC world.
So in the DC world, the
Because they
spear.
had like a
really?
No, right, exactly. In real life.
In real-
No, so like that's like some intense like they had a sphere of influence basically around Germany, if you
Yeah.
will, so that the metahumans could not fight the Nazis.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of backstory with the Spear of Destiny deriving from World War II and Hitler using it, and you know, like the Justice League trying to stop him and trying to get back to Spear of Destiny. But in this world of the DC universe, I mean, what do you guys think it is? I want to hear your theory.
Okay, here's my theory, guys. This is my unifying theory.
Oh.
I think
Oh, yes,
that,
okay.
like I said in a previous video, I don't think that Flashpoint effects are really Barry's fault because from the start he's been so clear that they're his fault. I think they're Reverse Flash's fault, and I think we're seeing now how he makes it happen with the Spear of Destiny. Because the Spear of Destiny can change the course of reality. So once he has it, he can make all this stuff happen. And the way to stop it, once Legends comes on after Flash next year, is by taking the Spear of Destiny from Reverse Flash.
Right. So, I mean, we'll see from there.
There's
I think the Spear of Destiny might have something to do, too, with the Legion of Doom forming. Hopefully they can get Grodd in there, too, so we can make it complete, so.
And we have a comment on Facebook from Earlier Earl Bongo. That is
Yeah.
his name. And he said something interesting about the Reverse Flash, what you were just saying, because while he's sitting there and he's fighting Amaya, I think.
Yeah.
And then his watch all of a sudden goes bleep, 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 bleep,
Yes.
right? And all of a sudden he's like, you're lucky. And he has bounced out, right?
Yeah.
It's like, why did he get to do that? So then Earl says, why did Reverse Flash run away when his wrist watch suddenly turned red? Was that the indication that he's done? Was that the indication that he's done too much aberration that might affect him?
Oh, that's
Which
a
made
cool
why he wanted to
idea.
leave 1927. Like,
That makes sense. Like if he does one more thing, then
Yeah.
he's gonna cease to exist.
he's like,
or
oh
something.
yeah, shoot.
Yeah.
Was that like 3 and out kind of deal for
Yeah,
Reverse
man.
Flash?
That's
He's
really
about to strike out.
interesting.
Yeah.
I like that. So yeah, so let us know what you guys think the Spear of Destiny means.
Yes,
the comments?
definitely. And like, also, again, we want to give a shout out to our friends at Arrowverse.tv. Go on there, discuss some things, about the show. All the shows are on there. We'll be on there talking and yeah.
Tell them what you think about the Spear of Destiny too.
Yeah.
Yes, let us know.
We want to hear your theories because, frankly, I can never get enough of
Yeah.
theories.
And we've got a long hiatus coming up. So our
Yeah.
next actual episodes, I think, are going to be January 16th for Supergirl.
Yeah.
So yeah. So we're going to have a couple things in the meantime here, but obviously we won't have new content. So
Yeah.
Right.
new DCTV content.
But we will miss you guys.
Yeah.
We will
But happy
definitely miss you.
holidays.
Yes.
Happy holidays.
Merry
Thanks for
Christmas.
watching.
Bye.
Bye-bye.